Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to your garage, welcome back to our race truck project. So in the last video, we did some renovation to the race trailer. We are currently waiting on parts. We're waiting for our new shower setup to arrive. So we are going to turn our focus back to the race truck, probably where it should have been to begin with. But we are going to start doing some things to make the truck ready for our deck plate setup. So if you guys remember a couple videos ago, I revealed we are going to go to a deck plate, which means that the head of the engine is going to sit 1 inch higher. So that means that this brake booster needs to move up. Our current intake piping is now, or how our current intake piping was, it came like right here and it cleared fine, all that. Now, everything's going to be 1 inch higher. It is definitely going to hit our brake booster. So, my plan is to try and raise this up 1 inch. So, we're going to take it and drill new holes, do whatever we have to try and raise this up. It's definitely going to be more complicated than I'm making it out to be because we used our factory brake bracket and throttle bracket for this originally, so we are going to have to try and move this up, and I just don't know how it's all going to work out. So what we're going to do is just move stuff around inside the cab of the truck and see what we can do to get the clearance that we need, so that way when our new engine, it'll be the same engine, just modified, now deck plated. When that arrives, we can hopefully shove it in here and be ready to go. So if we're, getting close to a race or what have you, or maybe it will be done before shides, still a possibility. Crossing my fingers on that one. But that way we can try and get it in the engine compartment and get this thing back ripping as quickly as possible. So that's the plan, is to try and move the brake booster up 1 inch. Yeah, we're going to start by moving all this crap that I'm storing in the truck out of the truck, or at least onto the passenger side, so we can get the thing. So that's the plan. Get this thing deck plate ready. Well, that was easy. So our whole brake setup is now 1 inch taller. Got our brake booster sitting up closer to the top of the truck. All I did was drilled holes 1 inch higher than the ones that were there. I hogged out the hole in the firewall, also hogged out the hole in the aluminum plate, this factory brake bracket. I hogged that up, as you can see, and that's it. I mean, this is definitely one of the easiest things we've done. Our bracket for the brake, everything lines up fine. Got a little bit of an angle, but everything still works, so our brakes will still apply. But yeah, definitely way easier than I thought. I thought this was going to be a whole thing and all that, and I got looking at it and, well, why don't I just drill new holes and try that and hog this out? And yeah, it worked. So very easy night in the garage, moving this brake booster up. As you can see, our old hole here which is about 1 inch lower than our new holes. So yeah, everything worked out good. Now we do have some clearance issues with our steering shaft here, but since we are apart, we can just unbolt this. We'll, you know, just cut the frame here and kind of mold it in, maybe put a piece of tubing or something in there to give us our clearance. But other than that, everything was pretty easy, simple. Still got clearance down here for our steering shaft. Yeah, that was definitely easier than I thought it was going to be. So we got some work to do down here. Definitely something that I was planning on doing anyway. Like I said, cutting this out and just, you know, kind of pushing it in basically, and then welding it back up. So a little bit easier night in the garage than I anticipated, but that's good. I think now, at least as far as the brake booster goes, we are deck plate ready. A couple of you guys had commented down below in our previous video where we revealed we were going to be deck plating it, and was saying that, hey, why don't you just make spacers for your front frame setup that are taller, so that way your intercooler piping and all that will work. Fantastic idea. So what we'll do is when we get our engine back, probably just going to modify that so that way we can just rip it how it is, not have to modify the piping at all. Definitely considering, you know, trying to redo some of that front framework that is right here, because this was just kind of hastily put together before we went down to Tennessee. But all we have to do is put another inch here for our spacers. I always ran a spacer in here before because when I made my tubing for it, the intercooler just sat too low, so I made 1 inch spacers. So worst comes to worst, if we are in a crunch for time, we'll make 2 inch spacers, be good to go, and then eventually we will modify this, modify our factory frame for when we sled pull the truck and all that. So anyway, much easier night in the garage than expected, which is fine with me. You know, usually it kind of goes the opposite way, but everything worked out, and hopefully now our intercooler piping will clear our new deck plate setup. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe down below. Catch you guys in the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrench on your truck,